Hi there, my name is Jason Stevens. I'm from Phoenix, Arizona, and just wanted to tell a quick story about something that I experienced back in middle school. I love football. I always have. I love the fact that it's a team sport, and it's one of those sports that a lot of times it's not necessarily the best athletes that win championships. It's the guys who play together the most. It's the guys who play the smartest and are the most prepared. And I have a story that illustrates that. Back when I was in middle school, my neighbor across the street, Jimmy, was a track star and wrestling star. He was a tremendous athlete, like a physical athlete. He wasn't. He didn't play basketball or football or basketball or any of those. Baseball, I'm sorry. But he just was a physical guy. And because of his success in wrestling and track, the PE teachers loved him. And every time we went on to a new sport in PE, he was always and they picked him as a captain right off the bat. And Jimmy's teams would never do good. Jimmy didn't have an eye for putting guys together other than the guys that were known to be all stars in the school. And one day we were talking, football was approaching, and we were talking, and I asked him, like, hey, would do you care? Do you want to win? He's like, yeah, I'd love to win. He's like, but my teams always suck, and I never, seem to get any good guys on my team. All the good guys end up over on Todd's team or, one of the other stars in the school. And I said, well, is it important to you? I mean, does it really matter? Do you want to win? And he's like, I do. I said, okay, well, let's do this then. I said, pick me first and let me put the team together. I won't pick one star in the school, but I'll pick a bunch of guys that'll play together and we'll win. And he kind of laughed at me, and I'm like, seriously, we'll win. He's like, no, we won't. I said, let me prove it to you. Give me a chance. Pick me first, and let's see what happens. You got nothing to lose. And he's like, okay. So he picked me first, and I put together a team. We got to do our draft, and we didn't have one of the known stars in the school on our team. But I knew guys that had speed, and I knew guys that I'd been out playing catch with that had good hands and things like that. But more than anything, these were guys that didn't have egos. These were guys that would love to be in that top group, but never really were. But had the drive and the passion, and they were good teammates. So I picked these guys to be on our team, and after I got the commitment from Jimmy, I actually made a playbook. I put together a playbook for the team, individual playbooks, but with all of our plays and how it would work out. And I knew how many players we'd have, and I assigned positions and all that. And so then when our guys got together, I asked them the same thing I asked Jimmy. I'm like, do you guys want to win? And the guys are like, well, yeah, but nobody's going to beat Todd Rademacher's team. I mean, his team always wins. And I'm like, well, I said, do you want to win though? Do you really want to? And oh yeah, of course we do. Yeah, I'm like, okay. And I pulled out the playbooks from my backpack and I handed them out and I said, memorize these over the weekend. I said, study the plays, study your position, and we're gonna win. And they kind of laughed at first. I'm like, I'm serious. If you guys will study these, it's not that difficult. Just memorize these plays, and we're gonna play together as a team, and we're gonna win. And they kind of laughed, and they all committed though they would do it. And we came back Monday, and it was our first opportunity to play a game. And obviously the plays weren't 100% memorized, but we had enough plays down and enough cohesiveness as a team that we won, and we played one of the better groups right off the bat, and we beat them, and it surprised even my teammates, and they kind of were like, no way, I can't believe we just won. I'm like, I'm telling you guys, if you will commit all those plays to memory and know them inside and out, we're going to beat everybody. And in the middle of the season, we played the second best team. We had like 3 guys missing that day from school. We lost that game, but other than that, we won every game during the season. And then we got to the playoffs, and we got a rematch against that team, and we whomped them. And we got to go to the championship against Todd Rademacher's team. And it was really interesting because nobody gave us a chance, but we knew what we could do, and we played Todd's team to a tie, so it went to overtime. And by this time, all of the other games that weren't the championship games were finished, and all of the whole class was gathered around watching the end of our game. And it went to overtime, and it was like whoever could get the longest play. And anyway, we did. We beat them, and the whole place went crazy. We got our picture in the PE room for the whole year. I mean, everybody was amazed. People kept coming up to us for weeks, just can't believe you guys beat them, and people were inspired by it, and people realized that you didn't have to have the star guy or be the star guy to win. And it was just such an awesome feeling. And here I am 42 years old in 2 weeks, and I still look back at that so fondly, and just proud of the accomplishment, proud of what we did. And my buddy Jimmy passed away a few years ago from a disease, and it just, it just makes me happy that he got to experience that, because it's one of those things we've talked about over the years, that it really impacted us, and it impacted people around us, and it was just a very, very fun experience to be part of. Hope it inspires you all as well.